Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Riley from Tactical Edge, and today we are talking and looking at the Classic Army PX9. There's a lot of good things about this blaster. It's very unique with the MOSFET and how it's programmable. It's its own MOSFET. I can talk a little bit later when we get into it how you can't replace it with anything else and why. Because it's designed around the box to only be that one thing. But yeah, let's get into it and start pulling apart and talking about it. So I'm gonna pull off this stock, and there's just two little screws. Alright, cool. So we got that off. So there's just two little screws there. And then, as usual inside, there's a bolt and plate. And I'm just going to get that off camera, but we're just going to get that out. Alright, cool guys. Got the stock off. And now I'm going to get out these pins. These pins are pretty tough in there. Get that one on the other side. So this center pin is directional. Basically that means you can go in and out of the blaster a lot easier, hitting it from one side only, because it's got those little grooves there. That's what holds it in the receiver itself. So when the grooves wear down, then the center pin goes in and out a lot easier, but then it's prone to vibration stuff and just falling out all the time. Yeah, it's kind of a pain. But anyway, I want to get the top slide off. Look at the T-piece. So the T-piece and barrel, if you guys are wondering, you can get this barrel out. It is press fitted on there, but you can get it out. And you, I put a stainless one in there. For a stainless barrel in, it fits fine in the outer barrel. Just if you're changing the inner barrel, like a stainless one or a black one, you do have to lathe it for it to fit inside of the T-piece, or you make the T-piece fatter, up to you. So you can either make the T-piece inside diameter bigger to fit the new barrel, or lathe it. I just lathe it. And to get it off, because it is pressed on there, you put this side into a drill, and basically while you're spinning it, hold onto this and it'll crack the glue and then it'll come off. Really easy, real simple. But that's it for the barrel. You don't have to take the mag release out, as there are no screws of getting it out. It's just built into the receiver, so that's good. You don't have to worry about that. The bottom of the motor handle is just a little push pin, so you just pull it towards you and just lifts up like that. It's pretty easy. We'll get this motor off. But these Classic Army ones are really good. What's cool about the MOSFET is you can program it all by holding onto the trigger. I think there's an instruction manual for it, but if you come in, one of us can help you and show you guys. It's pretty easy. But it's pretty cool. Get this motor grip off. Cool. And then get this down. It's a bit hard upside down. Cool. So this is where things get interesting. So you get really good silver wiring. You get this little braid here for the wires at the back. Basically the trigger and the trigger spring is all very, very custom. It's one of its own kind of thing, because the spring, as you can see there, sits on the outside of the receiver. The mag terminal block itself is its own. That little blue thing you see there, that is the MOSFET. And on the other side, it's its own little selector plate, and that little black square there, that's the back of the trigger. So it's a very, very big trigger. I'll show you when we open it. But basically that's it for the outside, and that little cutout here, and that little three little wires and a little square, that is the sensor for the top of the MOSFET, and that's to pick up the magnet in the sector gear. So if you guys are wondering, I've tried to do it myself, putting different rear gears in it. For a customer, I wanted 30-in-1s. I put 30-in-1s in. I got the magnet out of it was an LDX box he had, and it came with a spare magnet. I thought, oh, you know, it would be the same. So I put that in there, and it still didn't work. Whatever magnets they use, they're their own for the MOSFET. You can't replace them, because I put a different magnet than what this one comes with, and different ratio gears, and I didn't want to read it. I would shoot it, and then that's it. It would die, like it lost power, because the sensor can pick up the magnet. I don't know why. It's very weird, very interesting. And you could say, well, why can't you cut out the magnet in this gear? Good question, but with magnets and the electromagnetic field, if it goes under too much heat, it loses its north and south pole conductivity. So it loses its magnetism, basically. So you could try and cut it out, but it probably won't work anymore, or work ever again, because you broke it, basically. Yeah, let's get inside. The spring as well is a 1.4. I measured it just before. Pretty good spring. Wouldn't really need to change it. I mean, it's already a big enough spring as it is, but it's up to you. Not many screws to this gearbox either, and they are 8mm bushings as well. Ooh, come back to that one. And the cylinders are also ported, I believe. Yeah, they're 50. Cool. Get all these out. Cool. All right, got the screws out. And before I forget, for the mag terminal blocks, there's just these two little Phillips heads. Just get them out. Cool, so just get that off, it just slides off. Now we will open this gearbox like that. And then that is the trigger intricate spring I was telling you guys about. As I said, it's very, very custom. It's very its own. You wouldn't be able to put anything else in there. It is purposely designed just for this blaster. There's a spring for it. You've got all hard nylon polymer piston with one metal tooth. Nylon taper plate, metal cylinder head nozzle wells, which is quite good compression. And as you guys can see here, I have the selector delay chip and I have the magnet as it is magnetizing my screwdriver. And then we have the MOSFET and the little sensor. So I'm going to open up the MOSFET and show you guys underneath. So just take the top off. And he's got this little spacer. So that is the top of the board, and that's all of its brains and programming. And then we have the trigger block switch, which does all the clicking. And then underneath the MOSFET is where it's interesting, because I'm trying to flip it. So there's the back of its brain, and there is another sensor, because that little sensor picks up on the magnet here on the selector plate. So that selector plate has a magnet built in to the sensor in the back of the MOSFET. So you can't change the selector plate either, unless you put a magnet in it. Again, good soldering, good MOSFET. So what I was saying before is, if you wanted to put a different MOSFET in, like a Leviathan or a Titan or a P-Run, you won't be able to do it due to the magnets. The size of it, you would have to change the whole size of the gearbox, because this little square here is just designed for this. You couldn't put anything longer in it. You'd have to Dremel all of these little pegs off for the screws. It'd be a lot of work into it just to get a different MOSFET in. I mean, I don't know why you would, like, this is good enough as it is. But yeah, it would be a lot of work just to change one little thing. But yeah, I tried to do it before, and I couldn't do it because I Dremeled all these off, and yeah, it was just a pain. It's basically designed for this and nothing else. So that's the MOSFET. Just want to put these wires back in. Cool. And put that little peg back, spacer, and put this top back on. So if you guys are wondering what you can do to upgrade it, as I said before, the barrel, the spring, if you wanted to, I mean, it's already a big enough spring as it is, and I probably wouldn't go anything bigger due to probably the gearbox cracking or breaking, and probably the MOSFET getting overwhelmed and blowing up. So probably keep the spring the same. All you really need to do is just the barrel, the O-ring. I changed the piston head once before in one to a POM one, and it actually made the FPS less. It likes the original stock red piston head. So I just kept the piston head the same, did a green O-ring and a standstill barrel, and I did an M100 spring. Look, you could do an M110, but anything above an M110, it's a little bit risky due to the MOSFET and stuff. But yeah, that's all I'd really do, is the barrel and O-ring and M100, better motor. It's already got a MOSFET, it's already got silver wiring. There's nothing really else you would need to do this, guys. That's pretty much it. And that's everything I would do too. Maybe double groove bushings, instead of just solid bushings. I'd probably change it to that as well. As I said, gears you can't change. Well, maybe you can, but we haven't really figured that out yet. But I don't think it's possible because we've already tried it. Well, I've already tried it. Let's get it back together. Cool. Put the mag terminal base on, and then put these tiny little screws back in, which would suck to lose. Cool, and then we're just gonna put the string back on. Cool. And put it back on its receiver. So to get it out of the receiver, you need to have it in semi. And to put it back in, just have it on full auto. So let's push that. Cool. And you want to put the center pin back in and receiver pin. Cool. Put the motor grip back on. The classic army motors are really good too. Good brand, good quality. They held up good against 11 volts. Nothing I can really say bad about them for a stock motor. Probably more speed and probably more speed would probably be better. So that's in there, and you just want to push it down, push that lever in. And if it doesn't go all the way forward, just get a screwdriver, pull it forward. And then we're going to get our top slide. Now, if you try and slide it on all at one go, sometimes the T-piece can't get past the receiver. And what you're going to have to do is put the barrel and T-piece on first, or on first. And then put the slide on. All together. Cool. Cool, that's on. There's a little spacer. Yep. And it's just that bolt and plate. And I'll put that on off camera. Cool guys, so we got the buffer tube on. And I'm just gonna clip this bit in. And put on the stock, and then we're done. Right. I hate it when that happens. Cool guys, that is the classic Army PX9 pulled apart, put back together, and what I would recommend for upgrades. And I was talking about the MOSFET, what you can and can't do with it. Hope you guys like this video. Please leave a like and comment down below, and make sure to subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you'd like to see next, and we might do it. Alright, see you guys, bye.